Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Back on here. This is Danny with the Soccer Expansion Project. Today, going to talk a little bit about these people, goalkeepers. This was one of the people I loved growing up, watching this guy play. Peter Schmeichel. I think this was against Spurs. I think there's a better picture of it just to give you an idea of how high he was in the goal. Can't remember who that person was that shot the ball, or I think it was a header. Anyway, but yeah, incredible athleticism, and David De Gea for United is certainly one of those as well. That's showing he's got some Hall of Fame type goalkeeping stature at Old Trafford. But less about United as a Leicester fan. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the Soccer Expansion Project and in today's presentation. So the Soccer Expansion Project, here it is. So on the right hand side we have lots of partners that we're currently working with, and we'll have them lined up here pretty soon. Stuart and Gary Monk from Soccer Profile are our lead partners, and also connector with some other units within the course, within the structure. But anything that you can think of that will help you become a better soccer person, maybe a player, coach, parent. Excuse me, it's coffee. It's morning time here in America. But yeah, curriculums, training methods for coaches. You can see kind of the idea of all the things that might go into helping support the growth of the game, improvement of the game, and that core mission that that I believe in, certainly going through COVID, that youth sports can save kids and does save kids, and it's important to make sure we're providing the right type of avenues for those kids to have access to all the things we love about the sport. It might not be soccer either, team chemistry, socialization, all of that sense of being is crucial. So that's the right hand side. On the left hand side is everybody, me included. Just people, players, coaches, clubs, DOCs, technical directors, parents. There's lots of information out there right now, and the goal of the Soccer Expansion Project is to put together a platform here that allows access, and we're working on this that we finalise probably in the next few weeks, where you'll have access to all the stuff on the right hand side. There's lots and lots of resources out there. This will just be a membership area. We can get expert knowledge, we can chat, we can have support, we'll have webinars, scouting, pro coaches on, academy coaches on, PDF presentations, forums, offers, access, educational resources, but the idea of community. And I'm only interested really in talking to people that are looking to expand the game and say yes to kids. So that's the Soccer Expansion Project. So let's talk about today's topic, which is goalkeepers. Excuse me again. And how we might integrate them into our training sessions. Often they get ignored, and often they end up being kind of a bookend, if that's the right word. Here's the teams, this is what we're going to do, and by the way, Jimmy, Sarah, you're in goal. That kind of thing. So let's make goalkeepers important. Let's make them special. So there are a few things to think about in terms of logistics, and again, I go to Soccer Profile just here. But let's say, for example, that you don't necessarily have a dedicated goalkeeping coach. So there wouldn't necessarily be something in the team training session that the goalkeepers can head towards, even for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, to get their technical reps in. But how might you want to then integrate them into your training session? So if I go to, I'm just winging this right now, but if I go to some of the sessions that we built through Soccer Profile, ball mastery session. So let me click on this. Let's see what it brings up. So the challenge would be as a coach. So here's a ball mastery session. Let's see this effort that we put into this for the outfield players, right? So there's a space, there's lots of touches, 15 to 20 minutes, free dribble, slow speed, clap or whistle, toe tap, shuffles. So all these little technical parts with a foot on the ball. Cover skills, how fast, I'm looking for the fastest feet in the town. So you're giving the kids a little challenge, make it a competition, change the speed, always talk about control and boundaries so the kids are not all over the place. Okay, so let's make that a goalkeeping specific thing. So within your team, okay, goalkeepers are using your hands. There's a really easy one. And then you're delivering the message that says, outfield players, it's toe taps. Goalkeepers can do that too, but throw in some, distribution pieces with the ball. Maybe we've got, this player here is a goalkeeper, and let's say this player here is a goalkeeper. You could have them maybe work as a pair, and then they're just sharing this ball, and you can work through the levels. I'll talk about that later. footwork, you could be side shuffling, you could be jumping, you could be throwing the ball above the head, you could be throwing the ball at different heights, you could be doing a few clap saves or drop down saves or diving saves if you want. But here's a way that you can get for 20 minutes in a session, get your goalkeepers moving, get them light on the toes, give them a little bit of some props as to some specifics within that within that program, or within that little bit of a 20-minute spell, to integrate them, as opposed to what might happen, which might be they do the field player work. I'm not saying they never do that, they should at some point, but then also go off by yourself maybe, that sort of thing. Let's see if there's anything else. Again, I promised you I was just winging this, so let's have a look at a couple of tech pieces that were built. Oh, Sammy Lee circles. Alright, so let's have a look at Sammy Lee circles. Let's see what's going on here. Sammy Lee played for Liverpool in England, and he was a coach, and there's loads of good stuff. So here's one here, couple of balls by the looks of it. So we've got 2 balls in this grid. So player in, head up, pass. Real simple Sammy Lee circle. That's a real simple one for goalkeepers. This player, let's say that we grab a player, you get to see that we'll change the colour. Let's go make it a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper colours, lovely. Alright, stick a keeper here. There we go. So we got the goalkeeper in the grid. When the goalkeeper gets the ball, pretty straightforward. We can see what's going to happen here. But ball comes in from someone in the middle, so this is now a save. This will probably be a level 1 save along the ground. Keeper can bounce the ball in here. They could hop, they could skip, they could throw the ball in the air. Keeper gets to here, now in the middle. Keeper's turn to distribute the ball. Ball gets rolled out, thrown, whatever it might be. So we can get the idea. So there's an idea. Again, just wing that. You can integrate the keepers into your session there and make it specific for them. So hopefully that helps a little bit. But yeah, just think of those ways. Usually there's a technical part of any training session that you work on with your players. And again, just get the ball in the hands for the keepers and get them going. Let's just try if there's one more. Maybe not. Oh, I got under other. This could be a surprise. Oh, we all looked at that. Sorry about that, everybody. Any attacking stuff? That's pretty straightforward, because keepers can go in the goal, can't they? So 3-goal game right there. Anyway, you get the idea. So that's what. So Soccer Profile is a way I build sessions. It's really handy. So that's one thing. So the other thing is, what if you do have a dedicated goalkeeping coach for a session? So let's have a look at things to cover. Goalkeeper training, warm-ups, full body. So, arms are going and legs are going, and the 2 lines, the FIFA 11s, all that stuff. Little ball mastery, sharing a ball, person with the ball. As much as we say to outfield players, touch a ball, we say the same to goalkeepers. Dropping the ball, bouncing the ball, jumping on the ball, throwing it above the head. Any of those things can happen. Excuse me, my watch alarm went off for a reason I don't understand. What a mess. We talk about levels. We go 1, 2, 3, and 4, but the ground level obviously is dealing with the ball along the floor, along the ground, along the grass. We talk about the Dutch soccer coaching style, so palms out. Some goalkeepers like the K or the half K saves, get the knee behind the ball. We're okay with that as long as the knee doesn't get in the way of the hands, whatever the goalkeeper looks comfortable with. And if we were to start a session, we would watch the goalkeeper and see what they do. Some younger kids will literally drop down to their knees and have 2 knees facing where the ball's coming from, and they tend to get messy and they need fixing. But as long as your palms are faced forward, this is not great, is it, in terms of a camera angle? I should do an actual live training session. And you trust it, the balance can be good. But we always want to make sure that the ball is in the middle of the stance as much as possible. Breadbasket. Level 2, so again, just into the stomach. We always talk about the ball hitting the body first and arms underneath. So the hands aren't required for going, grabbing the ball. We can fumble the ball or misplay it. But ball into the body, arms underneath is the next thing. In front of your face, we talk about positions with fingers at this point. So, triangle behind the ball, fingers pointed up, something like that. And we also talk about enjoying each save here, especially this one. You see keepers just, the ball sticks like that, and you just pause for a second and give yourself this recognition that's not going in, and you're sending a psychological message to the person that strikes the ball. So level 3 in front of the face, and level 4 above the head. We go back to that W position with the fingers. I don't even know whether you can see this, I apologize. Slightly bent in the elbows, so we're not too stiff. And players again fingers up towards the ceiling, but we're not in that position there. We're just in that W position there, and nice and easy, nice and relaxed. Ball above the head. Yeah, in between levels. So there's some parts that we talk about there. You know, the Eiffel Tower is one of them. I wasn't sure of how to spell Eiffel, so I just wrote tower to remind myself. But you know, that's the one where it comes down. You know, the ball's coming down at an angle towards your feet, and it's bouncing right in front of you, and you get right down, you scoop it, and your legs come out like an Eiffel Tower if you look down on top of you. Then we talk to the players about just making sure you've picked the right level. So for example, if the ball is here, you know, we're probably level 3. If it's a little lower, level 2, above the head, you know, we're just making sure they're choosing the right level to get their hands in the right position, so they look nice, safe and secure. Drop downs, clap saves, diving saves, we you know, it's hard to talk about that necessarily on the video. In terms of technique, start them on the knees. Big thing is just to make sure they're not landing on an elbows out, land on the shoulder, so they're not landing on the ground there and pushing the shoulder out of joint, and just having them slow down, and so that they can control their bodies on the way down. Again, difficult really to talk about right now, but we would cover that. Footwork, obviously that's just endless, you know, any sort of cones, any sort of ladders, you know, sideways, lateral movement. The lateral movement for goalkeeper training, I see almost every single training session's got a goalkeeper that's moving sideways. It's hugely important. Moving around that 6-yard box, make it relevant to the game. You know, so that's particularly endless, and you could essentially make up some footwork activities right there on the spot, real easy, just to get those feet moving, and then include the ball. And then striking, you know, we often ignore this. We do, honestly, we do as well. But you know, having players strike, we have an indoor facility that we use, and striking the ball into a net just to work on goal kicks is important, especially the younger players. They really struggle with goal kicks, and understandably so. But just getting that consistency. So if you were to cover those things in 1 hour, you would find a way that would be pretty good. A good training session. The thing that we like to then talk about then with goalkeepers is, if your footwork is really good and your levels are really solid, let's say your footwork was amazing, you would always be receiving the ball in line with your body. But obviously you can't always get your feet over there, so you might need to have a drop down save. So we sort of tie them together with every training session that we do. So that's how we work on it. And one of the things that we've done as a club over the last few years is over the last 2 decades really, is to make sure we have a goalkeeping specific training session. And I tell you, we absolutely love it as coaches. We'll get between 10 and 20 goalkeepers there, and it makes a massive difference. It also takes a little bit of a weight off the shoulders of the team coach, because they know the goalkeeper's got a goalkeeper specific training session, so that when it comes to their team training session, if there can't be this integration within the training session itself that we spoke about here, it could be that the team coach could say, hey, whatever you worked on with Danny or whoever you were working with, whatever goalkeeper coach it is, you know, maybe you can do that for 10-15 minutes, get your feet moving. They'll have a little bit of a curriculum to work from, and then they can be ready for whatever you might do as a team coach. So fully suggest having a goalkeeping specific training session once a week, finding someone that loves goalkeeping, loves the energy, and get that in there. The kids love it. It really helps in terms of technique and practice, and we've found that GKU mentality really starts to grow once you have a group of goalkeepers specifically working together each week within the club. It's fantastic. So I hope that helps. There's not much else to say other than, you know, make sure goalkeepers feel special. Let's see if we can find a way to get someone to be able to move like that. That's pretty amazing. I would also recommend there'll be a link in here that as we start to build some traction here, there's going to be a webinar pretty soon with Stuart and Gary Monk. Maybe bring on some pro coaches as well, some other pro coaches, and bring in some academy coaches to talk about player development. And there'll be a link to a little form. I won't spam you, I promise. Just a little Google Doc. And if you want to stick your email address in there, we'll be in touch at some point and we'll do a little free webinar. But yeah, we'll see you next time, probably tomorrow. And we'll see what topic we can work on then. Cheers. Thanks very much. Happy Thursday.